What is going on, everybody? How's your weekend? Mine is pretty good so far, but I just realized I forgot to start the sim. So we're going to need to talk a little bit as we go past the end of the countdown. I've been running around here as I've been getting ready for this, and I left something out. There we go. But we're loading off SSD, so it won't take too long, and we are already in Sterling. So hopefully everything will work out okay. Yep, I want to do this again. We did ETS yesterday. We did ETS 2 yesterday, and I have to say it was not my best stream. I wasn't driving really well, and there weren't a lot of people around. I mean, it was Black Friday, but I don't know. I don't know how you get down. I don't know what you're into. Doesn't everybody shop online now? I don't know anybody that like goes to stores on Black Friday, but who knows? So we'll try it again today. And then tomorrow we'll do FS19 again tomorrow. I'm taking a little time off from cattle and crops. I burned myself out. So we're going to take a little time off from that. And then after that, who knows? X-Plane, who knows? Who knows? All right. So we'll leave the music on for a minute till things get more crowded, if they get more crowded. And we need to go over here and go right in here. There we go. So we are in Sterling. I went ahead and skinned up the Volvo. This is the base game Volvo. It's not the Aerodeath Volvo. And, you know, I had this truck. I bought it because we've got enough money. You know, we just sort of buy whatever we want. But I bought it, and then I didn't skin it, and I never really used it. So I made a skin for it. I put a motor in it, and I figured we'll take this down to Arizona. And we have a cargo already dialed in. I think we're taking... Oh, I don't know.
Let's go.
We're taking something. Hey, Fried, what's happening? How you doing? So we'll get some lights on. We'll get some wipers on. Oh, frame rate is tanked. Now, I'm told that is a Colorado thing. That, I don't know, things are not great with DX11 in Colorado. And that's what the problem is with the frame rate. But I've noticed that whether I'm streaming or not. Because, I mean, I had to drive around a little bit to kind of get up here. And I did notice that the frame rate in Colorado is lower than it's been in other parts of the sim. Now, I don't know if that, because we've spent a lot of time in Colorado. Forza Horizon 4, hell yeah. It's a great game. I don't own it because I don't have a console, but that is a great game. I've spent plenty of time in it. I saw Drift on sale. Drift and Project Cars 3. I think of both of them sort of like Forza. You know, just fun racing games. They're not really racing sims, they're just racing games. I saw both of them on sale on Steam. I've been thinking about getting both of them. You got Forza 4 on PC, really? I thought it was only console. No, is that on PC? All right, that changes everything. Maybe I will get it. But I definitely want to get Drift and Project Cars 3 just to try them. You know, Xbox and PC. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what I'm thinking of then. Maybe... Oh, you know what? It's, is it straight Forza? Not Forza Horizon. But is it regular Forza that is only PC? I don't know. Too many games. Too many games, man. So yeah, we've been in Colorado almost exclusively since it dropped. Haven't really been out of state. So I can't tell you if the problems that I'm seeing in Colorado extend out across the entire sim because of things they did with DX11, or it's just the way that Colorado is optimized, and when we get into Arizona, our frame rate will pick up. But at the moment, our frame rate is, I mean, we're 50s, which is okay, but I would prefer to be 70s and 80s. I am capped at 60 now to try to take a little stress off my graphics card, but I would like to see that frame rate tick back up. All right, we are taking, what are we taking? Used packaging, the classic used packaging, and there's quite a bit of it in Sterling. We're taking used packaging to Sholo, 800 miles. That might take the full length of the stream. We'll see. And it is, oh, it's right there. All right. I think we can get this turned around first person. I've been trying to back up a little bit more first person. It goes okay. I can't say it goes well, but it goes okay. So we may do that. We may not. And we did go with a little bit more of a, what I would think of as a regular trailer. We've been running the big trailers in both ATS and ETS. And initially I was doing okay with them, and then I started to struggle with them. That always makes me wonder, you know, is it me? Is it the trailers? Is it, you know, what's going on here? So we need to be, oh, that thing like did an absolute pirouette. There we are. I always wonder, is it me? Is it the physics? Is it, you know, is it this? Is it that? Who knows? But we're going with, I mean, it's not a small trailer, but it's not as big as those big ownable lowboys. And we still don't have, there's a couple of fuel trailers that we still don't have. And then on the ETS side, I noticed we still don't have the glass trailer. And I don't know if we ever will. I feel like SCS, they know how much people want that glass trailer as an ownable. And they won't do it. I think there are a couple mods of it, but they just will not release that glass trailer as an ownable trailer. And I don't know why. Maybe just to keep it kind of a grail item. That's ugly, but doable. All right, let's get on the road. Ain't nobody got time for this. So we'll go here. Wipers off. Lights off. Engine off. Let's get loaded up and get out of here. And what time is it? It'll be about 9:30. It's perfect. We'll see if the rain stops. And sort of. All right, here we go.
Drive safe.
And I think we got a full load of fuel. Lights on if the wipers are on. That's the law. G920? Yeah, it's a classic. I don't think you'll have any problems with that. I don't know. I mean, you've got fans of certain brands and certain models, and you've got other people that don't like them at all. But I really have not heard anything bad about the G920. It's sort of a classic. I think I'm ready to go Fanatic. But I am not looking forward to spending $3,000 just for a base, a wheel, and pedals. And I feel like if I do go Fanatic, then I'm going to have to get a proper race seat, right? Like a proper race rig and a triple monitor setup. So I'm looking at probably spending $5 grand to build my race rig, and I really don't want to. I really don't. I mean, I want to. Of course I want to. Who doesn't like buying stuff? I think for me, I like having stuff, but I don't necessarily like buying stuff. So, oh, I like the rig that I've got now, but realistically, I mean, it's a kind of an economy rig. It's a starter rig, and it's bolted to a desk, and then I've got an office chair. And what I came up with is, I know some people say just, you know, try to lock the base down, but my chair swivels. And so when I tried that, what I noticed is if I was braking very hard, my chair would try to swivel the opposite direction. So what I do is I like literally strap my chair to the desk. It's so ghetto, but it works. I am looking forward to like being away from that system and having a proper race rig.
Turn right.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I've got no complaints about my Thrustmaster. I know it's an economy wheel. You know, I think I paid $300 US for it. That's economy. You can spend twice that just for a rim, just for a steering wheel. You can spend twice that just for a set of pedals. You can spend 5 times that for a set of pedals. So it is, it's an entry point. You know, you got to start somewhere. But I have no complaints about it. I really don't. And now I'm curious if my braking is going to become a lot more precise when I get proper load cell brakes. And when I get everything bolted down really solid, you know, I'm told that your ability to press the brakes very hard but very precisely, particularly when you're in sports cars that don't have ABS, really makes you a better driver, makes you a better racer. So I'm curious to see how that braking changes when I get a proper race rig. But I'd say that's, I mean, maybe sometime in 2021 that'll happen, but that's a lot of money to spend. It really is. And I'm also, like, I don't know what to do at that point because I have one tower now. I have one laptop and one tower. Let's get right through here. I have one laptop and one tower. I just use the laptop for like older games and games that aren't super demanding, and primarily I use my tower. All right, and I think, yeah, we can turn these off now, and we can turn those off. So if I got a proper race rig with triples, I don't even think the rig that I have now would run triples. I've got a 1660 Ti, and I mean, technically it can handle them, but not really, you know, not really. So I think I would, at that point, bump up to an RTX. But now here's the problem. Here's the problem. Now I've got a new hot RTX card, but it's in a race rig. So if I wanted to use it for any other games, I'd have to play those games sitting in the race rig, right? So like if I wanted to play, I don't know, if I wanted to play Farm Sim, I'd be sitting in a race rig. Slide over here, and I don't know if I'm down for that. So that means I would have an RTX card running triples, and all I would use it for is like iRacing and a set of Corsa Competizione. That seems like kind of a waste. Plus, that's another $2,000. So now we go from a new base and a new wheel, right, up to $3,000, plus a race rig up to $5,000, plus a new tower up to $7,000. So $7,000. That's so much money. It really is, and it would be all at once. And the space, because I don't even know where I'd put that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, hang on. I just saw a big jack come in. You like racing games but not racing sims? Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. When iRacing, I have a love-hate thing with iRacing. I love iRacing. Somehow they're making it look better and better all the time, but I love the physics of it. I love the competition of it. I love the variety of cars and tracks. I love that it's not AI, it's people. And there's just something so much more intense about racing against people than racing against AI. That's the good part. The bad part is it can be so frustrating, both in terms of dealing with other people and the fact that you're always competing against yourself. You're always trying to turn either better lap times, or once you're sort of maxed out on a track, you're trying to turn consistent lap times. And to make a small mistake in iRacing, what's that person doing? To make a small mistake in iRacing and have it cost you, maybe not the lead, but somebody's able to get in your draft, right? And it can, one simple mistake in one corner can change an entire race in iRacing. It really can. And I find that very frustrating. It's very realistic. I believe it's very realistic, but it is very frustrating for me. Love-hate. Had to refund it because you weren't enjoying yourself. What weren't you enjoying about it, Fried? What didn't you like? I'm curious. And this, is this truck stopped? I've been noticing a lot of traffic. A lot of weirdness with the AI. It seems like merging traffic in Colorado, there's like a bottleneck. There's like a little traffic jam at the base of every ramp. I don't fully understand why that's happening. I may turn down my spawn. I have my spawn on 1.7. I may turn it down to like 1.4 because it could be the way the traffic is, the way it spawns in 1.39 and having it a little bit turned up, that I'm spawning in more traffic than the AI is capable of dealing with in 1.39. Like maybe it's got some new logic or some new methodologies, and it's based on 1.0 rather than 1.7. Yeah, I totally get that too, Fried. I really do. It takes me to get on a track, even a track that I know, a track like Monza. It takes me about 30 laps just to really sort of refamiliarize myself with it and remember my braking points. And then it takes me, I'd say probably another 30 to 60 laps to feel like I'm up to speed. I'm turning laps within maybe 1/10 of a second of each other. But in something like iRacing, I'm still in a low split and I'm significantly off the pace. I've never won a race in iRacing, but I'll spend, I'd say between 50 and 100 laps just practicing for a race. And that is, I understand that is more commitment than a lot of people want to put into a video game. And I think the problem is, well, it's not a problem. If anything, it's a good thing. But I think what you're up against when you're in iRacing is there are some people, that's the only sim they play. I mean, there are a lot of people, there's one sim and that's really the only sim they play. The rest of us, we may move around from game to game and sim to sim. But for some people, they have found their spirit animal and that is all they do. And, you know, everybody has a natural speed. Everybody who plays race sims has a natural speed, and that's why there are splits. There are people that have been playing iRacing for years, and they're in a low split because they're just not that fast. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, everybody has different abilities.
Turn right.
But it's still, it's the only sim they play. So even though, I'm trying to think how I want to say this, even though they may not have a lot of natural speed, they have a tremendous amount of experience. What? It said stay right and go right. Oh, game. All right. So I guess what I'm saying is even when you're competing with people who may not be as fast as you, because they have so much experience, because that's the only sim they play, they're still sort of faster than you. It's crazy. So it is, it's a big commitment, you know, to know that those are the people you'll be competing against. And that is not the intensity of experience that some people want when they're gaming. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Then you might like Project Cars 3. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but Project Cars 3 is Project Cars, but it's more like Grid and Forza. It just looks like it's a lot more fun. More of a game than a sim. And I don't know if you know the history of Project Cars 2. It was not a super popular game when it came out because it's too much of a sim for people who just want a game, but it's not enough of a sim for people that want a sim. It was in the dead zone. It was in the gray area, and it really didn't make anybody happy. But I like it. I personally like it. Because for me, that sweet spot, I mean, I don't always want a super hardcore game. Sometimes I just want to enjoy myself. And I find Project Cars 2 is perfect for me for that.
Get ready to turn left.
Ready to turn left. Okay. Catch a green light here, maybe.
Turn left.
Maybe. Oh, come on. We got it.
Keep right.
I like when games are built to be... I mean, it's not perfect, and it doesn't work for every game, but I like when games are built to be as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. And I think, well, Tarkov is a good example. You know my history with Tarkov. I don't think of Tarkov as a very accessible game. And if I were the devs, I would really think about addressing that because I believe it's holding them back from bigger markets because so many people are sort of scared off that game. iRacing is pretty intimidating. But something like, I'm trying to think what I have in my library. Something like Assetto Corsa Competizione, I think is pretty accessible. Gonna stick with Forza? Yeah. Yep. I've heard the Forza franchise, well, both Forza franchises, Straight Forza and Forza Horizon, I feel like it's one of those franchises that even people that don't like it. And even people that don't play it respect it as a title. But when a game can get to that point where even people that, like I said, where even people that don't like it, then I think you've really done your job as a developer. And I sort of came up in Gran Turismo. It's funny now to look at Gran Turismo, even, how is it, GT Sport? I don't know, the highest evolution of Gran Turismo. To look at Gran Turismo now and think that for years that game billed itself as the real driving simulator. I mean, it was the best we had back in the day, but iRacing and Race Room and R Factor 2 now, you know, none of them bill themselves as the real driving simulator, but I think they are, I don't know, it's just a crazy time to be in sim racing right now. Even Assetto Corsa Competizione, I know that game gets a lot of grief, and the F1 franchise. People say they're games, not sims, but I find both of those franchises to be very much in the sim category. Yeah, but I think they're going with the Gran Turismo model, the Rockstar model, GTA. You know, keep adding content, keep the game fresh, keep people interested, and the new one will be ready when it's ready. You know, and they're not really rushing it or trying to. They're not taking any chances with the franchise, with the brand. They're valuing and respecting the brand, and I think there's definitely something to be said for that. Okay, so we're going to go straight here. There we go, lock that in. This thing has really big fuel tanks, which I'm kind of happy about. I was driving, I bought several trucks in ETS. I bought an MAN, I bought a DAF, I bought a Renault T, and it's crazy how they have different size fuel tanks and how it's sort of, I don't know, it's the balance of truck sim that, even though it seems like such a small thing that you might have to stop and get fuel, I mean, it's not going to throw you off as far as like making you late, but it throws your rhythm off. And if you can find a fuel stop that's right next to the highway, great. But if you have to sort of drive to one, now you're wondering, well, should I sleep now? Don't really need to sleep, but I'm at a place where I can sleep because I'm getting fuel. Balance. It's all about balance is what I'm coming to realize. Yeah, definitely. Now, they do, somebody on Discord that I talked to, they play a lot of Forza. They are still adding content, are they not? They drop content for that game like once a month or every couple months. And there are a ton of cars in there. I'm going to slide over now. Yep.
Keep left.
There we are. I like when developers release a mix of paid DLC and just free patches and updates. You gotta make money. I get that. I like capitalism. I like money. But I also understand that people need to feel that they're getting a value. You know, when they're making an investment, when they're spending money on a game title, you've got to feel like you're getting a value. You like collecting cars? Yeah, no doubt. I have spent, in the past couple weeks, I have spent a lot of time building skins for Truck Simulator. I don't know. I just got a bug about it, and I just wanted to make skins. And I like the idea that we've branded our whole fleet on both sides. Like even this Volvo. I haven't driven this thing for months, and I realized it didn't have a skin, so I had to go build a skin for it. So, yeah, collecting it's a big part of gaming now. I've played a couple of RPG games, a couple of loot-based games, and hunting for loot, man, it's, you know what I mean? It's one of those things you gotta, well, I say you, I don't mean you. When I say you, I mean me. It's the sort of thing I do want to be mindful of, because there are some games where, you know, there's a particular piece of loot that I want, and I find myself extending my session out, I wouldn't say involuntarily, But you know what I mean? When there's an item that you want to collect, and so you're going to keep your session going beyond what you had booked, right? I have from 4 to 6 to game. A game from 4 to 6, and it's 6, and you're like, well, I think I'm pretty. God. I don't know what is going on with the AI in this game. You've booked from 4 to 6, and it's 6, and you didn't get that piece yet, and it's like, well, I'll just do another. I'll do another mission. I'll do another quest. See if I can get it. And next thing you know, it's 7:30, and I'm very careful about the word addicted. But I do think there are some loot-based games and some collecting games where the devs would not mind if you got addicted, right? That's that Starbucks syndrome. Starbucks sells a product that people are chemically addicted to, and they know it. So it's it's definitely morally ambiguous that you as a developer would do that. And now there've been some disclosures about this. There've been some emails and some memos from social media companies, internal documentation that's been leaked, saying these companies know, not new, I mean, it's not past tense, this continues to go on. These companies knew that checking your wall, checking your feed numerous times per day, chasing after likes and retweets and that sort of thing can literally become addictive, and they want it to happen. Right? They know we're doing these things to get that little blast of dopamine, and it's not just that they encourage it. They specifically design social media content and social media platforms to get you addicted. So I know game developers are aware of that, and I really do feel like there are some games that want to get you addicted to that loot loop. So all you do is play that game trying to collect loot. Yeah, it's rough. And it is, I mean, really, it is a tremendous relief in RPG games when you get the piece of loot that you've been chasing. And it could be that you've been after it for maybe just a couple days. It could be you've been after it for a couple months. Oh, the one thing you need to complete a build, to complete a set, and then you get it, it's like winning a slot machine. Go crazy. Very exciting. And it's those moments that keep you hooked, keep you playing. Because I know in Division 2, and I imagine this is true across WoW, our frame rate is, this is atypical. We're at 35 FPS right now. We're not in a city. I think Colorado needs a little optimizing. Colorado might be, I'm reluctant to say broken. Colorado might be a little broken. Might need a little work, SCS. They say, people that are addicted to gambling, they say their biggest hit of dopamine comes not after the numbers pop up on the slot machine, not after the cards are turned over. Their biggest release of dopamine comes just before. And what they've concluded is, like people that study these things, what they've concluded is just before the ball drops into the roulette wheel, just before the cards are dealt, anything is possible. And so in your mind, you're sort of already winning, right? So you have the feeling of winning. You have the feeling of succeeding because at that moment, nothing has happened yet and anything is possible. So maybe that's the loot loop that we're in. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if some of that research had made its way into the hands of game developers. But in an RPG game, when you go chasing after a piece of loot, before you open the chest, before you open the crate, it might be in there. And so anything is possible. So, I don't know. I play RPG games sometimes, but then it's not that I quit playing them. I just sort of fall away from them for like 6 months or a year. I do like them, but it's not my preferred. My weapon of choice is sim gaming. I think it always will be. I love sim gaming. They call these work sims because so much of this, we're just doing things that people do for a living. And I would say, yeah, other than racing, these are all work sims. All right, try to get wound back up to 75. I've got a really big motor in this truck, but it does take quite a while to get it up to 75. I like that though. I don't want heavy trucks that feel like go-karts. You know, in real life it might take 3 or 4 minutes to get a big truck up to highway speed. So I'm okay if it takes the same amount of time in Truck Sim. Oh, and also I uninstalled and unsubscribed from Drivetrain Revision. I've been running Drivetrain Revision for, let's say, a year or two. And there is one for every brand on both the ETS side and the ATS side. Oh, right on, Fried. Yeah, I think so. For me as well. I like the realism, you know? Even if they're not super realistic. I like the fact that I don't like dragons and swords, you know? I don't like that sort of stuff. Or playing as a non-human character. It's like sim gaming. I don't know. Found my spirit animal. Alright, and in case this is more traffic drama, I'm going to slide over. So, Drivetrain Revision. I noticed in cake, I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what is going on up here. I know what cake is. I know what cake is. Wait, are we talking about the delicious frosting covered pastry, or are we talking about a game? Are we talking about the band? Oh, I may know what you're talking about. I may not. Drivetrain Revision. Yeah, I've used it for a while, and I noticed I built a Volvo. I built a 4-axle Volvo in ETS, and I noticed when I was driving it that there was no overrun sound, right? So right now, if I downshift, we get overrun, right? But I noticed in that Volvo, there was no overrun sound. And I thought, well, you know, maybe that's something specific or unique to the Volvo setup. Maybe it's got a slipper clutch or something. I don't know. But then I hopped in a Mercedes and it was doing the same thing. So I took a look around, and apparently Drivetrain Revision brings in some of its own sounds, but 1.39 has changed a lot of things in the truck sounds, and those mods have not been updated. So I uninstalled all of them. So we lost transmissions, but we got our engine sounds back. Space Engineers. What did I play? I just played an early access game called Tin Can, but I have not played... I don't think I've played Space Engineers ever. Yeah, Jenner, I don't think I've ever tried that. But check out Tin Can on Steam. It's sort of in the same category, but a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more brutal. It's definitely a learning curve. It's one of those games where you learn by dying over and over and over. Yep. Tin Can. That's posted at 75. I'm not going through that. Oh, I'm not going through that turn at 75. We went through it at 60 and almost rolled us. All right. Get out of the fast lane. We've been over here for a while. And we are, yeah, we're getting into New Mexico. So let's see how we're doing when we get to Farmington. And we can either do another trip in ATS. We can jump over to ETS if you want. Or, I don't know. Oh. Going to Sholo, Arizona. Jaden? I think that city made it into the game because it has a funny name. Can't imagine why else they would put it in there. We started in Sterling, Colorado, which is up in the northeast corner of the state, and we're going to Show Low, which is in, I'd say, western Arizona, out that way. And I believe the total trip distance is about 820 miles, and we are in a Volvo VNL 780. Yeah, as much power as this thing has, it feels a little bit underpowered. Fan of ATS? Okay, we'll see where we're at on time. We've been going about 40 minutes right now. So let's see where we're at on time when we get there. I'd say we're about halfway there. So that'll be 90 minutes by the time we get down there. Maybe we'll do a short trip for the last 30 minutes. And we own every garage on the map right now. I've got 10 drivers on, and we have 2.7 million. We have all the trucks that we could ever want. We have all the trailers that we could ever want, and we still have 2.7 million. So money is no object. We can hop in another truck and teleport back to somewhere in Colorado. We can do whatever we want. I try to play games too realistically sometimes, and it's like I'm doing myself a disservice. You know, I'm not enjoying the game as much as I could be because I'm applying these sort of arbitrary restrictions. And I think if in so doing I increased my enjoyment of the game, that would be one thing. And sometimes it is more fun. It is more fun to play very realistically. It is more fun to play when you give yourself just artificial limitations or challenges. But other times I find it to be really not fun. And I think I'm finally coming around to the idea that we can just do whatever we want. If we want to teleport, we can teleport. You know, there's no reason not to. Unless for some specific reason we've agreed not to. But, you know what? It's just pixels. It's just a video game. Enjoy yourself. Oh yeah, I did exactly the same thing. I think it took me too long to realize that I could not play SnowRunner realistically. It's not that kind of game. I was trying to, and it seems like you could play it realistically, but you can't. I think you have to, tow one truck with another so that you have two when you get there, or tow a truck that is towing a trailer, or, you got to do some sort of silly things. And I don't know. I'm reluctant to blame my entire personality on OCD and autism, but that is a part of me. I do like things to be fairly linear. I'm very data driven. I like things to make sense. And to do things that are non-linear, to do things that are random, it's difficult for me sometimes, because random by its very nature is it's random, right? There are no patterns to it. And so it's difficult for me to just do things. I always sort of seek out patterns. And the thing about playing realistically is the patterns are already built for you because you're just going to do what people would do in real life. That pattern exists. But to do something a different way, right? A non-linear way. It's like the lava game, right? Floor is made of lava. All right, why doesn't the furniture catch on fire? Don't ask those kinds of questions. You're ruining it. It's just random. It's fun. Just have fun with it. So when I try to play less than realistically, I never know where to draw the lines. Oh, okay. We're right on the speed limit. It's weird that even in Sim, when I see a cop by the side of the road, you get that little, how quick can I get on the brakes? All right, let me get to a straight piece of road here because I saw a long chat come in, a long comment. All right, this is pretty straight. Hang on. Oh, careful. Yeah, I was thinking that I really was, because there is on one of the Russian snow maps, there is like an anti-aircraft base up on top of a hill, and the road sort of skirts around it. So the road is side hill, and there are telephone poles, power poles. And you can sort of extrapolate. You can see what the developers want you to do, because as a player, you can see, okay, here's the line of power poles. The road is to the right of the power poles here. It could be that it snakes back and forth between them, right? Serpentine. Not likely. I'm guessing it stays to the right. And so you drive to the right on what you think is the road, and you fall into a hole in the snow. It's a trap. So, I mean, for one thing, I sort of don't like that when developers do that. I am very much of the mindset that every problem in a video game has to be foreseeable if you're paying attention, right? And it's got to be either avoidable or solvable through skill rather than luck. So when I come across something like that, a hidden hole, I get it, right? It's a trap. I fell in your hole. I get it. But if you were playing co-op, your buddies could all laugh at you, and then they could pull you out, and you could all continue onwards. And I think if you played SnowRunner like an RPG game, where you had, right, like one tank, 2 DPS, and 1 healer, when you went out in SnowRunner, I mean, it wouldn't have to be 4 players, but when you went out in SnowRunner, you would have 1 scout, 1 heavy truck for pulling, and 1 maintenance truck to keep everybody's health up and to keep everybody's fuel topped off. So yeah, that's a very good point, Fried. I think that game would be a lot more fun multiplayer than the way I was playing it. Jaden, you were in a wild goose chase. Do tell, brother. How'd that work out? Fresh pizza. Salami Romano. Just out of the oven. Jenner, you're killing me. Now I want pizza. Your heart is pounding. Well, that sounds like something happened. Typically, when you say wild goose chase, it's a little bit more benign. Maybe your wild goose chase was there was actual peril. Oh, hang on, I got a peril button. There we go. So I live in a condo. I live in a high-rise condo, and on the first floor of my condo is a pizza restaurant that has won gold medals in pizza contests, and apparently there are some like international pizza festivals. They've won gold medals there, and one of their pizza chefs was on the American pizza team, because there's an international competition. Every country like sends its own team. So, yep, can't tell you the name of it. I can't tell you the name of it, but I can tell you it is some of the best pizza I've ever had. Fantastic. Yep, it's very good. I love pizza. I let myself have it 3 or 4 times a year. I spend way too much time in the gym to throw it away on pizza, but I love pizza. And you know, every time I'm eating egg whites with spinach, I'm thinking about pizza. Keep right. Let's slow down a little bit here. We kind of got jammed up last time. Whoa. Okay, so we do go to the right. Here we go. And I'm out of fingers. So as soon as we get through here, I will turn off that blinker. All right. There we go. I have seen Among Us. I have watched people play Among Us, but I've never played it myself. I don't have a squad to play it with. Have I ever tried pineapple? Yes, definitely. I have tried pineapple with barbecue chicken. Instead of red sauce, it's a barbecue sauce pizza with pineapple and barbecue chicken on it. I've tried it with ham, and I've tried proper Hawaiian pizza, which is pineapple and Spam. And if you grill the Spam first, get it nice and crispy, and then put it on the pizza and then throw it in the oven and bake it, it's something else, man. I know that's a very dogmatic issue. People feel strongly about pineapple on pizza. It's very binary. Some people love it, other people don't love it. Here's my thing about pizza. We call it a pizza, right? And if you grow up in America, people think it's red sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni. But to me, pizza is just a flatbread. Pizza is a concept. Pizza is a transport vehicle for toppings. So it's really just a flatbread. Whoa. It's a flatbread, and then you put anything you want on it. Yeah, same. I can't eat pineapple by itself, because if I do, it feels like I got sand in my mouth for like 2 days afterwards. Something to do with the citric acid? I don't know. Yeah, pizza is a metaphor. Pizza can be whatever you want it to be. It's free on phone. I didn't know that. I know that I've never installed a game on any of my smartphones. I'm on that Galaxy bus. I'm a Samsung Galaxy fan. I have been for years. I have never installed a single game on a phone. Ever. Ever. Yes, Fried. That is exactly true. It's a blank canvas made of dough. Yep, I love pizza. And I've tried some workarounds. I've gone with a spinach-based thin crust that has like minimal carbs. But it's just not the same. It's, I'm fooling myself, and I know it. When I'm eating, it's like a cracker. It's like a big round cracker. Spinach crust pie, olive oil, white sauce, with spinach and, I don't know, maybe some salmon or something on it. It's technically a pizza, but I know what I'm doing. I'm not fooling anybody. I'm not fooling myself. Good taste in phones. Thanks, Jenner. You're a Galaxy fan, I take it? Samsung fan? Yep. There was, well, again, I can't tell you the name of it, but I lived in a town for a while, and there was a pizza restaurant that they sort of took it to an extreme. They had 100 toppings. And so you could get, a pizza with like a light mayonnaise topping. Then they'd grill it, right? Brown it up, almost like a grilled cheese sandwich, and then they put like pheasant on it. They didn't have, all they had were, you could pick your dough, you could pick your sauce, and you could pick your toppings, but there was not a single like pre-made recipe for a pizza. You had to create your own. And I really liked that. But it was a little bit contrived. You could tell they were forcing it. They had like oysters. You get an oyster pizza. Come on, man. That's just ridiculous. So they had 100 toppings, but they really had more like about 40 or 50. And then a lot of them you could tell were just, they were up there so they could say they had 100 toppings, but they were ridiculous toppings. It doesn't have to be, It's just chat in a live stream. It's whatever you want it to be. We're falling asleep here. I heard a yawn a little while ago. And we just got a second one. I don't know how far we are. You know what? We're not in a hurry tonight. And I think we've got plenty of time for this job. So why don't we just pull over and sleep the next place we can? And we did almost this entire leg in daylight, which I'm very happy about. Ninja Turtle style. I don't know what that means. Once again, I know what the Ninja Turtles are, but as it relates to this conversation, I don't know. Oh, look at this. Wow. That's a lot of scenery, man. There's a lot going on over there to the right. All right, there's something going on. Something's going on in the chat. I don't fully understand it. All right, and there's... Oh, you know what? Ah. Can we get off here? Yeah, we can. Let's go get some sleep. I don't know how far we have to go. We're okay on fuel, but let's get some sleep here, because I'm always pushing my luck.
Never mind.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. You know, I didn't know that detail. I'm not up on my Ninja Turtle lore. Get some windows down here. I don't know if you can tell in stream, but our frame rate is so much better in New Mexico than it was in Colorado. Let's see if we can carefully, we'll go right in here. Some random milk crates. That's interesting. We'll go ahead and get fuel here, because we sort of need to go through here to get to where we're going to sleep anyway. So we'll get down to neutral. Brake, lights, windows are already down. Let's fuel up here, and we're just going to pull straight forward and get some sleep. So what did everybody buy for Black Friday on Steam for the autumn sale? Brake is off. 139 gallons to get down here. Okay, so it looks like we've got... that can't be right. We added 139 gallons, and we were 2/3 full, so we've got 450 gallons of fuel on board. That seems excessive. Well, maybe we were lower than that, because looking in the window right there, it says we've got 300 gallons when we're full. Okay. All right, turn some parking lights on. We'll go third person here. Are we all the way in? We're all the way in. We're even and square for once. Brake is set. Get to neutral. Let's get some sleep. And before I sleep, I'm going to have some water. I'm trying to hydrate more, and it's been 1 hour. Beautiful. All right. So it is 10:30. So we should wake up about, what, 6:30? DLC for Space Engineer, say 40%. Hell yeah. 8:30. Okay, I'll take it. And to get out of here, we can go around that way. Or, nope, just that way. Okay, here we go. So far, I have not bought anything. Unfortunately, I don't really need anything, because I have a bad habit of buying things either before they're released or on day one. So not only do I get to pay full pop and never get them on sale, but I also get all the day one bugs. All right, let's get out of here. Some windows up here. I think the Colorado DLC looks really, really accurate, but even though this is an older part of the map that we're in right now, New Mexico, I think in some ways New Mexico Well, it certainly plays better, because we're hitting our FPS limiter right now. It plays better, but I think I don't know. In some ways, it sort of looks better as well. All right. And we also need to move over one lane as soon as... Well, nice. I don't know if you can see in the mirror there, but we have all the traffic blocked. So as soon as this light changes, we will be able to get to where we need to get to. Beautiful. Make this left, get back on the freeway.
Keep left, and then turn left.
And there's one of those big trailers. I enjoy driving with those. But I feel like, I don't know. Hang on. I don't know why. I've got so many hours of music on the Spotify list, and it keeps playing that flute song. Not random. Spaceflight Simulator. I am not familiar with it. Is that new? I saw Kerbal is on sale for like 10 bucks. But I'm not familiar with Spaceflight Simulator. And it may still be, yeah, until Tuesday. Elite Dangerous is free. If you have Epic Game Store, Elite Dangerous is free right now. Well, we drove a little bit at night yesterday evening. Mobile game? I gotcha. It may be. I saw that on Discord. Yeah, somebody mentioned that on Discord, and they were wondering why anybody would play Mud Runner now that Snow Runner was available. The thing I like about Mud Runner is that you can creep. I don't know how that's missing from Snow Runner. That no matter how light you are on the throttle, the wheels always turn. They always spin, and that somehow moves the vehicle. Whereas in Mud Runner, you can go very, very light on the throttle, make the tires bite, and just sort of creep through mud without spinning your wheels. I don't know why they took that out. And I thought that, well, I know Snow Runner runs on Havoc, but I thought Mud Runner was still running on the proprietary Spin Tires engine. And then somebody told me that Mud Runner runs on Havoc as well. So it's not a question of the Havoc engine can't support creeping, because we already have it in Mud Runner. So I don't know why they took it out, but I do miss being able to creep. I feel like a lot of the snow and mud in Snow Runner, the way to get through it is just put it in a low gear and pin the throttle, and you just spin your tires and slowly move forward. It's frustrating for me because it doesn't really feel skill based. It's more like, how willing are you to tolerate going very, very slow? But I'd like to see them tune that up a little bit and bring the creeping back. All right, we're in Arizona.
Keep left.
This is so bad. I don't know why this is happening at so many ramps. It's gonna get me. One of these times we're gonna come upon one of these bottlenecks and hit them at like 75 miles an hour. Right on, Jenner. All right, so we'll get our window down. Oh, and you know what? I think I forgot to do this when the video started. But look at this. I don't know if you've seen the interior of this Volvo, but look what we got back here. It's like a little lounge, and then there's a loft upstairs, big bed that comes down. There's like appliances and a great big TV up there. It's crazy. I think this is the biggest base game sleeper in any truck right now. The only thing that would be close would be like the Peterbilt 579 or the T800. T1000. What? I think it would be one of those, and it's not nearly this big. I think this is the biggest. Maybe the Anthem? Yeah. They are. I love it. The Anthem is pretty big. We'll take a look. When we get down here, we'll go into... We can go into the I don't know, truck storage, whatever you want to call it. Take a look at the sleeper in the big Anthem, the 70-inch. All right, we got a brake over here. Beautiful. All right. Now from here, where do we go? Because it looks like we'll be in, I'd say probably another 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, that's the interior of the truck. Whoa, that's like a little apartment in here. And I like that you can skin the outside of the trucks. And the devs have consistently kept that a part of the game. You can build these very elaborate skins for trucks. But I'd like if you could do some things with the interior as well. Maybe pick some different... I mean, it wouldn't need to be maybe as detailed as the exterior skins. But if you could select from different setups for the interior, different patterns, different colors. All right. Locking the cruise control. Here we go. And all right, that was quick. We just went from New Mexico into Arizona, and it looks like it's going to be one of our first stops here.
And then exit right.
You know, it's sort of floored. It's got a lot of power, but not that much. We can barely get this thing up to 75. Aha! That was our exit, and
Okay, that's fine with you.
that's a no-go. So we'll need to go down here and get her turned around. Hang on. Take a look here. We want to be, where's our destination? Are they running us down here and then back, or do we want to go down through Phoenix? Because they never tell you. I would love it if there was a big X, right? Because this ramp was closed. We couldn't exit down here. But where's the accident? Because if the accident is like right here, then we can just go down, turn around, and come back. But if the accident is, I don't know, somewhere else, then we can't do that. We're going all the way to Flagstaff. Yeah, I think it's quicker to go to the flag, turn around, and come back. All right, we'll just go the way they're sending us. All right, here we go. Ernie, you've never used the Volvo? This is the first time I've driven it in many, many months. I bought one. I think I bought one when they released it. Same way I bought the Western Star and all 3 Max. And I drove it once and then never drove it again. But I went ahead and skinned it and put a good motor in it. We've been driving it. It's so crazy. Every time I drive on these highways in ATS, this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's like I can just feel what it feels like to drive on this road on a hot day. It's a very unique feeling. And when I lived in Utah, I had a soft top Wrangler. And the top was off almost all the time, of course. Then when I lived in LA and was driving back and forth to Vegas, I had a big Nissan SUV. Completely different experience. I mean, Wranglers are fun, but they're really, really loud. And it's like you dry out. You have to drink so much water when you're in a Wrangler, because it's between the wind and the sun, you just dehydrate constantly. And compare that to the Nissan, which was obviously hardtop, but big AC, big motor, nice, cool and comfy inside. It's like you're not even in the desert. But I do miss this part of the world. There goes a soft top Wrangler right there. Beautiful. When you live in a place like this, you buy sunscreen. I was gonna say you buy sunscreen like you buy toothpaste or something, but it's more than that. Everybody I know in places like Arizona and Utah, they've got sunscreen all over the house. They've got sunscreen in their purse, in their messenger bag. They've got sunscreen in their car. It's just sunscreen everywhere because it's so easy to get sunburned very, very quickly. Yeah, it's a very accurate depiction of Arizona. All right, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Get some sleep. Glad you got your pizza. I'm really craving a pizza now, so thank you for planting that seed in my head. But you know what? It is a weekend, so maybe I'll get a pizza. So here's the flag. And we keep seeing these Arizona signs like we're driving in and out of Arizona.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Keep right, exit right. You got it. We keep seeing these Arizona signs like we're driving in and out of Arizona. I don't think we're that close to the state line.
Exit right.
I don't know why we're seeing those signs. Rather have KFC and pizza? I can't remember the last time I had KFC. It's been many, many years.
Turn left.
There you go. A little Amtrak. What's going on up here? Yeah. I'll take a look on Steam. Something's going on with the AI. See if anybody's got a fix for this. Here we go. Good down there. Surprised we got into all that traffic without taking any damage, but so far far so good. We haven't got any tickets on this trip yet, have we? No, I don't think we did. We haven't hit anything. And we haven't got any tickets yet. All right. Yeah, Jenner, this is floored. And then we don't, I think we got about 35,000 pounds on, so we don't have a really heavy cargo. And there's a big motor in the truck. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not super fast. There we go. We can't get to 75. There we go. The horn, let me see. So we got two horns. We got the car horn. And we got the truck horn. Free play. Tell me what you mean by free play. Well, we have a cargo right now we're taking from one place to another, but you don't have to. You can just drive around if you want to. You don't have to haul cargo. You know, they sort of do. The car horn, I think, is reasonable. Free roam? Yeah, you can just drive around if you want to. The small horn, the car horn I call it, I think is reasonable because if you're like in traffic in a city and you just want to let somebody know that maybe the lights turn green and it's their turn to go, you don't necessarily need the air horn. But when we get stopped here, I'll go third person and let you hear them both again. This, yep, here's our exit again from the other side. Yeah, I keep seeing these Arizona signs. Now I mean, Arizona's got some little sort of crinkly edges. Yeah, of course, Fried. I think, yeah, you should have permission to do that. All right, so that's Holbrook, and this is our exit.
Exit right. Exit right. Get ready to turn right.
Alright, so let's get stopped here. I'll go third person. Here. Right, set brake. Go out here. I know. Here's our horns. Here's our car horn. And then our truck horn. And the car horn, I admit, is it's odd. It's a little off-putting. But I think that's what it's on there for. Can I get to 100 miles an hour? Yes, I certainly can. Ernie, I think truck drivers and train drivers, that's got to be one of the best parts of their job, is that if you pass a kid in a truck or a train or a fire engine, they do that motion. You know, they want to hear the horn. That's got to just, like, I don't know, make you happy. Because I'm pretty sure that's all over the world, right? Everybody does that. It's like in our DNA.
Go straight on.
All right. And I don't think we have too far to go. Let's get some windows back up here.
Go straight on.
We may be going a little bit out of town. I think this is more Holbrook where we are right now, not quite Sholo
Go
yet.
straight on.
I suppose I could check the map. Yeah, it's got to be all over the world. And I don't know how or why. It's just a thing kids know how to do. It's like they don't even need to be taught to do that. Oh, nice. Got a train coming by. That's some random dinosaurs right over here. As you do. Wonderful. We will use this opportunity to look at the map. Yeah, exactly. Everybody says they want longer trains. On the master wish list for ETS and ATS, people say they want longer trains. But I think that might break the game. The same way people say they want more accurate traffic signals, right? The length of them. But I feel like everything in the game needs to be scaled a little bit. Like time is scaled, money is scaled, distance is scaled. And I feel like things like the length of trains and the length of traffic signals needs to be scaled as well. Or we would all just be, there would be like permanent gridlock in every city with people stuck waiting for trains. All right, we do have a ways to go. I thought we were very close to Sholo, but we got a little ways to go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting. It's tempting, Ernie, but it's like putting all the money together from multiple Monopoly sets and you think, oh, yeah, this will be great. This will be the biggest Monopoly game ever, right? But all you do is devalue the currency, right? And so you're paying each other these massive rents and they have no impact on you because you have so much money. So you think it's going to make the game better, but really all it does is break it. And I think SCS, I think they're a smart company. I think they are striking the balance between giving people what they want and giving people what they ask for. Because sometimes what you ask for isn't really what you want, or it's only what you think you want. You know, it's not really what you want. Trust me on this. I know what you want. All right. Yeah, agreed. I know on the master wish list, dirty trucks, I think that would be very cool. I think if your truck, like in real life, started to get dirty as soon as you started a job, and so at the end of a job, right, these are all the things I need to do. I need to go to the diesel shop. I need to get some work done. I need to get my truck cleaned. You know, that you have a truck that if you've gone third person, you've been seeing it dirty for the past several hours. And now you can finally get it clean. Yeah, this AI something's not right. They're all stopping at this green, sir. There we go. So I think dirty trucks would be awesome. I know people want to see damage. I don't think that's really a good idea because your truck doesn't get damaged very often. I don't think the developers should spend any time or effort on that. I think that would be a big project because you would need like soft body crumple physics for the truck. And it doesn't happen often enough. It's not BeamNG, you know? That's not what kind of game this is. So I don't really worry about
ready to turn right.
damage. Insect encounters. Jaden, you know, I've never thought about that until just now. But no matter how long you drive the truck, your windscreen doesn't get filthy. It's a fantastic idea. Yeah, I think tires wearing out and that periodically you need to spend, you know, $12,000 for tires. I think that'd be a nice detail. Not all the time. Oh, that's interesting, Fried. That sounds like the crash physics in the F1 franchise. F1 insisted that there be no dramatic crashes. It doesn't matter what you do or how hard you crash. Nobody goes airborne, nobody flips over, and the cars don't disintegrate. They all stay relatively intact. And it's like you can't make a crash compilation in the F1 franchise because the crashes aren't very exciting, and I'm told that is at the request of, or I guess more like the demand of F1, because FIA does not request things. FIA demands things. So that's their policy, is that you have to reflect how safe Formula One is. You have to show it in a positive light. Protect the brand. So it's interesting that tractor vendors, tractor companies, equipment manufacturers would have the same take. Very interesting.
Keep left, and then turn left.
And as far as insects, like I said, I have not thought about it till just now, but that would be a very cool detail to add to this game. That, again, at the end of the trip, your windscreen is filthy other than the areas that your windshield wipers have kept clean. That's interesting as well, Fred. I hadn't thought about that. I was thinking about, you know, the fact that ideally we don't take any damage. If we do, we don't take damage very often. But yeah, you're right. Truck manufacturers as well. All right, Jenner. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate you. We're going to do FS19 tomorrow and then probably X-Plane on Monday. So I hope to see you there. Thanks for stopping by, man. Here we go. Now these lights in particular, these left turn signals are, yeah, they're way too quick. Gah. And what else do people want? Oh, right on, Fried.
And then turn right.
That's very cool. Yeah, no worries, Jenner.
Turn right.
All right, let's put it here carefully. He's down. What else do people want? They want smoke coming from the exhaust. All right, Jaden. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon. People want smoke. Yeah, I think it would be as well, Fred. Trying to concentrate. Here we go. Helping. This person is helping. Thank you. I think dirt would be amazing as well. I think smoke is...
Get ready to turn
Well, a lot of trucks don't make smoke anymore, so that's one thing. And like you just said, maybe that's not something that these companies want. Like maybe Volvo, we're in a Volvo right now, maybe Volvo doesn't want to see one of their trucks in a video game just belching black smoke. And of course, if they brought something like that into the game, within minutes, within hours, people would be tweaking the XML files and they'd be rolling cold. That's just how gamers are. All right. Third person. Get this. It may take us 2 passes. Yeah, I didn't really line this up very well. See if we can get this kicked around there a little bit better. Yeah. There we go. And what else do people want? They want old trucks on both the ATS side and the ETS side. Can't disagree with that. Old Scanias, old Volvos, old Mack trucks. On the ATS side, old Kenworths, old Peterbilts. Don't know if that will ever happen. And what else do people want? They want the DLC faster. They want the US to be done faster. Alright, we were able to get it in one swing. Got it in there pretty straight. I'll take it. Alright, so we're going to set the brake. It's 2:30, so we don't need parking lights. We won't be unloading overnight. Engine is off. Let's see how we did. Yeah, I agree. I would really, really like that. All right, made some good money. 36 grand. We level up. Fantastic. Oh, no, it really doesn't matter because we've already used all our points. All right, I'm gonna have some water. Smokeless airborne. Oh, AdBlue. Yeah, DEF. Yep, they are using that more and more in the US. I know they've been doing that in EU countries for a while now, but it's starting to get more and more. They're doing it more and more in the US. All right. So now, we've been going 90 minutes. We'll go a little bit longer. Let's pick another truck to drive. Let's see if we have a garage in Sholo. We do not, but there isn't one. So if we pick another truck, it will move us somewhere. And then we can... I think we've got a couple more cities in Colorado. Yeah, we've got... Oh, I want to navigate there. Oh, damn it, man. We've got a couple more cities in Colorado. We got Durango, Montrose, and Lamar. Let's go to... I mean... If we swap trucks, it's going to put us somewhere else, probably in Phoenix. But then we could teleport to... I mean, I don't want to teleport right to Farmington and go right up the road. So let's teleport to, like, Gallup. I think we have a garage in Gallup. No, it's got to be Farmington. Farmington or Albuquerque. We'll go Albuquerque. Okay. So first we'll pick a truck here. Well, first, we will dismiss this trailer. So we'll send that on its way. And then we need to pick a truck. So we've got the Western Star. I drove this a little bit yesterday. And this is very much a work truck. 100% day cab. But that is a possibility. We can take one of the Max. Now we drove the 70-inch sleeper. We drove this, or I drove this 1 or 2 episodes ago. Hey, Jaden. And the interior of this has another one of these ridiculous sleepers. Beautiful. Nicer than my first apartment. So I don't think we'll drive this because I just drove it like last episode, maybe the one before that. We do have our other two Macs. We've got this little day cab, which I really like a lot. And we've also got kind of an extended day cab. Got a wee sleeper on it, but low top. So what are we thinking? What do you think? Let's take this one. All right, so we'll drive this. We're going to drive it. And then we're going to teleport. We'll go to, what did we say? Albuquerque. And we'll transfer a trailer over to Albuquerque. Then we'll pick up a cargo and try to head back into Colorado. So we'll turn our lights on first. Those on. Mirrors are good. Mirrors are good. We can move that a little bit. So we're going to go up. Yep. And then like that. And then move this down. There we are. All right. So that is that. We will go to Albuquerque. Albuquerque. Fast travel. And then we'll pick a trailer. Trying to think what trailer I haven't used. We just used the low belly. I mean, we could take one of those monster trailers. I don't mind. Just, I've been struggling with them lately. So what do we got? We got this thing. We've got that low boy. We've got, is that the belly van we just had? Yeah, I think it was. Double. Tri-van. Where's our... Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Nope. It's that one. That's a nice trailer. Let's take a look at this thing. I pulled a bunch of mods out and I noticed a lot of my parts and add-ons got kind of wonky. So first we need to relocate this to Albuquerque. All right. Relocated. And then we're going to use it like so. That's hooked up. Here we go. Oh, we got to do one more thing first. Got to pick a job. So we are in Albuquerque and we want to go to somewhere up in here somewhere. Fort Collins, Lamar. I mean, we do need to get Lamar off our list. We haven't been there yet. If we go to Fort Collins, yeah, there's really no way to go to Fort Collins and justify going through Durango and Montrose. Cruces, Holbrook. I don't think. I mean, we could go all the way to Salt Lake and head up this way. That would be a little bit contrived. 600 miles. Yeah, let's do it. And we'll take these two cities off our list, and then all we have left is Lamar. All right, let's do it. How long to pick it up? 27 hours. Beautiful.
Okay, here we go.
All right, and let's take a look at this thing. I do like this combo with the dark trailer. Most of my trailers are the lighter of our two brand colors, but I do like this one darker with the dark wheels and the dark truck up front. All right, I'll take it. So now we don't have to pick this up for 27 hours, and we do have to sleep. So what time is it? It's 4 p.m. What do we want to do? I'm going to unhook. We'll pull in the garage. Since we own this place, we'll pull in right there, get some sleep, and then get hooked up again. Get hooked up again and be on our way. And I think we may be leaving early in the morning because it's 4 p.m. now, so it'll be like 2 a.m. when we wake up. That's okay. All right. Neutral, brake, windows. Good. Here we go. Yep, 2 a.m. go. And I missed it. You had one job. Oh my goodness. That's embarrassing. It's all about the perspective. All right. There we go. And these lights on the side here, I don't know how I feel about the neon. I do like the little step lights, the blue ones. But I don't know how I feel about the neon. If we pass a diesel shop, I may pull in and swap those out. Not crazy about those, I have to say. And we've got kind of a high mounted turn signal up under the door. I like that. And then we've got blinkers on the back as well. Okay. So we get this going, get rid of this. Set that, here we go. I already forgot what city we're in. Where are we? Albuquerque. That's it. And as soon as we pick this up, I need to remember to reset the navigation so we go through Durango and Montrose. And I want to say last time we tried this trip on the way up, there was construction. Yeah, it sent us out into Utah. We went up 191 and weren't able to get those two cities. We were supposed to go through those two cities, like those were going to be the first cities we got to in Colorado, and then we ended up
and then turn right.
not going to them at all.
Turn right.
Left, okay. I like that Volvo, but I think the Mack Anthem is, at the moment, my favorite truck in the game. I've been driving the Peterbilt 389 since I started playing the game.
Keep left.
But the Mack Anthem is really, I think it's really well done. I'm saying to get over to the right. Slide over here. That hair dryer, though. Oof. And are we exiting here? Oh, right on, Ernie. Yeah, it just works. It's got kind of an old school look to it. I like that. And it's got plenty of power. I just think it looks good. I wasn't crazy about the International. I thought that was with that crazy, like, retro chrome grille. I'm not a big fan of chrome. Didn't really like it. And I think the Western Star is great, but at the moment it's so limited in what you can do with it. It's really just kind of a logging truck, as it was intended to be when they brought it into the game. That's how they described it. And then you've got like the Volvo and the 579, the new Streamliner trucks, and then you've got the old school trucks like the 389. So the Mac is, I don't know, it's different enough from all those, but it's got, I think, a really good look to it. All right. Just randomly caught the curb there.
Turn right.
I drove the 389 for the longest time. I was always after the Viper 389, but I stopped driving it for 1.38. I think I had it in 1.37 when we went to 1.38. I was just going to wait until it updated, and then I never did. And now it looks like maybe it won't be updated to 1.39, so I've sold all my Vipers, and the only 389s I have now are base game. Yeah, I really like that. And from above, let me see if I can go above. From above, it's really narrow. Like when you look at the distance between the seats inside, it's really narrow compared to a lot of modern trucks. So it's got that very sort of 1950s look to it. Carefully. And I guess that's an accurate mirror placement, but I know there have been complaints about that from day one, that the mirrors are so far back, but I guess that's where they are.
Turn right.
All right. How are we doing? Get over there. And we are running Rabbinicus engine pack, but that turbo is just crazy loud. I know I can turn it down in the sliders, but I haven't adjusted it since we got out of the Volvo. So maybe that's really how loud that turbo is. Unknown. Oh, look at this. With the train coming by, late night. Beautiful. Anytime I'm playing a game like this, I always think, somewhere in the world right now, it's 2:30 in the morning somewhere. Somewhere in the world right now where it's 2:30, somebody is in a freight yard loading up a truck, and they're going to drive a truck. They're going to drive a job from one place to another. That's always happening all over the world. Trucks, trains, cargo planes are being loaded with like next day air. Transpo and commerce, it just never stops. It's always happening all around the world. And I think, can we get through there? Yeah, we can. Because we want to go here. And then we can just pull through. Maybe. You gonna make it? Oh! Yeah, we made it. And we can't... God, there goes the frame rate again. Ah, we can't pull through. Can we? I mean... What? I don't know how we're meant to get in there. Are we supposed to pull through, or are we supposed to back in? I'll pull around, see if we can do it this way. Yeah, we're okay. We got room on this side. I thought that was a pull through. I went around behind it, but this was the better plan. Okay. Live it alerted. And before we pull in front of a train, let's just confirm. All right. And as always, we may take 2 swings here. Let's see how it goes. It's a little bit tight. Yeah, we'll do 2 swings. All right. Go a little bit further forward. There we are. All right. Beautiful. So, brake, parking lights, neutral. Here we go. All right. And to get out of here, let's go out and let's go out to the left.
Time to get the job done.
All right. Just loop around. Is there a pole right there? It's right behind the mirror. It's not. Okay. Alright, get some windows up. We'll get on the road here. Yeah, if we pass a diesel shop, I'll pull those LED trim strips off. I don't know. I thought I'd like them.
Get ready to turn left.
I think that's a little too flashy for me. It's just not what I'm used to.
Turn left.
Why is that truck pulling forward? Oh. I have got to figure out what's going on with the AI. I thought maybe it was because I have my spawn turned up, but it seems different. I don't think it's got anything to do with my spawn. It's just acting weird. A very stale green. I don't think we're going to make it through that one.
Turn left. Keep left, then turn left.
I'll take a look in settings as well, as far as FPS, to see if there's anything new in 1.39 that I need to adjust. I heard some things about anti-aliasing, that they've got some new anti-aliasing. I thought I had my NVIDIA card set up to overwrite all of the ETS and ATS anti-aliasing, but I could be wrong. All right, here we go. Hey, Fried. I thought you were taking off for the evening. Welcome back. What's the res on your TV? Are we 4K? I'm not pushing out in 4K. I'm pushing out in 1920, 1080, 60p. And I think 4K. All right. Oh, no 4K. I gotcha. In my mind, I put a comma in there, like no, comma, 4K. I got you. No 4K. Yeah, I don't know if I've got the graphics card or the processor for that. But again, you know, like thinking about getting a race rig, I think if I did get an i9 10900 and I did get an RTX 2080 or 3080 or something, would I really want to take that step to a bigger, better, more powerful system and then have it exclusively for racing sims? You know, I'd want to be streaming things like this on it. But I don't know how I'd feel about playing Truck Sim not sitting at my desk. And if I did get a race rig, I would want, you know, I would want to get the proper Sparco chair and everything, and it's not necessarily comfortable to sit in for very long. You know, they're pretty uncomfortable. So I don't know how I'll set that up. Now the other thing would be I could buy 2 new towers. Hey, I could buy like, I don't know, one 2070 Super and one 3080 and just bump everything up. Use one for race rig, one for everything else, and then take this box that I'm on now and make that my spare. But that's, I don't know, that's a big step. And it's just so much money, you know? If I could do it incrementally, I would. But something like the Fanatic, you know, if I buy a Fanatic base, then I've got to get a Fanatic wheel to go with it.
And then exit right.
And I may as well just get pedals at the same time because you can bundle them, so it's like there's no way
Exit right.
to sort of transition over.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
You can't do it all incrementally. Some of it you have to do in like big bites, and those big bites are $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000. If I'm going to do all that, I've thought about just converting this office to a proper studio, and that would mean soundproofing, right? Getting the acoustical tiles on the inside, the egg crate foam all around, and getting the because I guess corners in a plaster room, corners cause a lot of problems as far as sound, like bouncing around in the corners. So there are these little sort of triangular shaped blocks you get that go up in the ceiling corners of a plaster room, and they can really help with sound deadening. So, you know, all that stuff. But that's another couple $1,000 to completely deaden the sound in a plaster room and try to make it a studio. So now what are we up to? 20 grand? All I want is a steering wheel, and it's going to end up costing 20 grand. I mean, I say that like it has to. It doesn't have to, and you can do it in small bites. but every now and then you do have to buy a lot of things at the same time, and I don't like days like that. I don't like spending money. I like having things. I like getting things. I don't like spending money. All right, and our windows, yeah, we put our windows up before we left the depot, so we're good there. Speed limit is 70. Oh, hang on. Almost forgot. Oh, it'd be so terrible. The only reason we're going up here is to get these two cities. How ridiculous would it be if we did not get these cities? Okay. Perfect.
Let's do this.
All right, and we are at, yeah, we're right at 2 hours right now, so I think we'll probably be about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. But that's about typical for a stream. I've been trying to, when I first started streaming, I was going like an hour, then it was up to 2 hours. I think 3 is going to be about my cap. I know streamers go like 7 and 8 and 12 hours. That's crazy. I would never do that. Would never do that. I got, unfortunately, or fortunately, I've got too many other things to do. All right, let me get some cruise control set. Whoa, swinging wide. And as always, we've got the truck and trailer stability turned down almost to 0, and we've got the braking intensity turned way down as well. There we go, there's 70. Gotta wait for a straight piece of road here. I just saw something come in on chat out of the corner of my eye. Try to read this quickly. Oh, you should do it, Fried. Definitely do it sooner rather than later. Because what I've noticed about this is every time I stream, I spot a mistake when I review it. I see something I could have done better. And when I look back at like my original first video that I posted going on 3 years ago now, it's absolutely awful. Everything about it is awful. My capture is awful. My microphone, me, like the way that I'm speaking, and just all of it. It's terrible. But the only way that you ever improve anything is by practice, right? By doing it over and over. And I have to remind myself, as awful as it is that first video was so bad, it never would have improved at all if I didn't do that first one. And for that reason, I wish I would have made the first one sooner, because that means the improvement could have happened sooner as well. So yeah, by all means, start streaming, man. Consider me a viewer. I'll be there every time. You know, I know it makes a big difference. People really do prefer streams where they can see your face. It's kind of a big deal, and it will really get you more views. That's just, people want that. But I'm a very private person, and I have to remain anonymous. So for the time being, you're only getting my voice. And I know people say they'll do a face reveal at, you know, 10,000 or 100,000 or 1 million or whatever. Maybe 1 million. But I'm not even committing to that. I think I'm always going to be a private person. I know people do the wig and sunglasses. You know, everybody's got their own way of working around it. Yeah, you know, I shouldn't care. I really shouldn't care. But I have to say, I recognize, I'm willing to admit that a video with a face down in the corner is most times more compelling. Although most of the streamers that I do watch, Flight Deck to Sim is a 737 pilot. He doesn't have a face. Operator Drewski is an FPS and RPG player. He does not have a face. Well, I mean, he has a face, but we don't get to see it. How'd that happen? I didn't do anything. Oh, this game. All right. And then other than that, watch a guy on Twitch in the mornings play Tarkov, and he's got a face. Yeah, we're getting ready to transition over to Twitch. I think that's the future of the channel, because I'm live streaming exclusively now. I haven't posted a recorded video in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So I think the direction we're heading in is 100% streaming. And if I had to choose between YouTube and Twitch for streaming, obviously Twitch is the way to go. It's a better platform for streaming. In some ways, it's a better platform, period. YouTube is, I don't know. I mean, I never talk about politics on the channel, and it's very easy to slip into politics because everything, on some level, everything ultimately relates back to politics. But YouTube is Google, and Google is Alphabet, and Alphabet is a pretty horrible corporation. They're really bad. They're a really, really bad company. Their logo, not their logo, their slogan for a long time was "Don't be evil." And they did away with that a couple years ago, which I think is funny because there's no reason really to do away with that. It's innocuous. You're not bound to it. It's just a stupid little slogan. You know, but they got rid of it. And I don't think they got rid of it because they realized they are evil. I think maybe they got rid of it because they realized other people have realized they're evil. They're a really bad company. And I think social media companies have a lot to answer for as far as damage that they've caused around the world, as far as the way we communicate with one another and the way we think. They're really terrible companies. So I know all these companies want your money. Amazon owns Twitch. Amazon at least sells me things for my money. And I feel like Twitch, as a social media platform, does not have the baggage of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and some of the others. All it's ever been is just gaming. People go there and they play games, and that's it. So, as reasonably as possible, I would like to transition the channel over from YouTube to Twitch exclusively. And that will probably happen, hopefully around the first of the year. And as far as, how much of my audience I can take with me, I would hope all of it, a lot of it. A little zoomy. Okay, you got it. I would hope that I could take a lot of my audience with me. We'll have to see. I mean, we can do dual streams for a while. I believe there is a tech that lets you push out to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously via XSplit. But regardless, yeah, we're looking to make that move. Yeah, agreed. I think it's a lot more, I mean, I know these companies are all owned and run by boomers. As much as they may pretend that's not the case, we know that. The thing about YouTube is YouTube feels like a boomer operation. Twitch may be a boomer operation, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's run by people that approximately get it. But YouTube feels like, I don't know, man. It's like something from the 80s when you're on here. And the other thing is, with Twitch, I can at least pretend that they care about me. I know they don't, but I can pretend. With YouTube, they're so awful, I can't even pretend they care about me. They are, yeah. I got an update to the terms of service that says they can monetize my channel even if they refuse to monetize me. So they can monetize my channel and run ads, and I guess I can't stop that, but I'm not monetized and I'm not getting any money. Period. That's it. They're not asking me, they're telling me. So that's crazy, and I think being a kind of a boomer platform, I feel like YouTube is still looking at it like they can sell me on the idea that, but hey, you're on the internet, right? Like that's all that matters. Hey, it's okay that we're ripping you off. You're on the internet, as though that's all that matters. And being boomers, I don't think they realize that in 2020, coming up on 2021, anybody can be on the internet anytime they want. It's not a big deal. It's not 1995 anymore. Hey, look, I'm on TV. Everybody's on TV. So the idea that I would create content for YouTube, they would make money from it, not pay me, and that I would think that's an okay deal, tells me how out of touch they are with, not just with their creators, but sort of out of touch with reality. You know, to not understand that there are competing platforms. At least Microsoft was smart enough to pull the plug on Mixer when they saw it was going to be a disaster. You know, and they lost a lot of money, and I know they pulled some big names over to the platform, and those people had to, well, they got piles of money. Even though the platform closed down, they got to keep the money. And money will always give you a soft landing. So maybe those streamers found new homes. Maybe they didn't, I don't know. But at least Microsoft was smart enough to pull the plug on that. They knew they didn't get it, they knew it wasn't going to work, and they closed it down. And I think YouTube is sort of in the same boat where they're not really getting it anymore, but they're big enough, and there are enough dopes like me that will make content for them that they will use to, and they're not monetizing me directly, but you know, they're recommending my video, they're putting me into the algorithm, they're putting me in the mix, they're using me, for lack of a better word. And for now, all I'm doing is just putting effort into the channel and expanding my subscriber base. But I'm not getting anything for this. I do it because I enjoy it. And for them to tell me, we'll make money from it, but you can't. No, I don't think so. I don't like the sound of that. That doesn't work for me. So we'll see how it all sorts out. But I think I'll be much more at home on, jump up a gear here. I think I'll be much more at home on Twitch. And I know I'll need to start building my subscriber base all over again. I know I'm going to get some comments from people saying, you know, I only watch YouTube. I'm not going to Twitch. You lost a sub, that sort of thing. Well, that sucks. It really does. I don't want to lose any subscribers. I've worked too hard for the ones that I have. But I need to consider what's best long term. And I don't think that's YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Mostly I just want to keep doing live streams. I really enjoy this. Alright, and this is a new part of the map to us. We have not been here at all. We'll go up through Montrose. You know, I'm not too worried about Montrose, but Durango is very cool. Pagosa Springs. Oh yeah. This is when I lived on the Western Slope. I spent, oh God. Oh, how close did we just get to that car? Very close. Looked like the game was kind of chugging there a little bit. Like our frame rate was really erratic. I don't know what you call that, where the game sort of like, I don't know, it's like it's buffering frames or something, and then it releases them all at once, so you get that sort of hesitation, you know? I don't know what you call that. The sim seems to be acting up a little bit. It really does. I'll take a look in settings. Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. And it's the thing that I've, because I do my research. I really do. I try to, as much as possible, know what I'm getting into and really try to be smart from day one. You know what? It's daylight, and I think we're going to make this delivery before the sun goes down, so I don't think we'll need to worry about them again. So I'm not going to go to the diesel shop and adjust those lights. I'll do it off camera. I do my research, and I really try to do things as well as possible. Anything I do, everything I do, I want to be good at it. So I've really spent a lot of time researching Livestream and how to do it well. And it's odd, Because what people will tell you is as you're growing, you just have to keep talking. Even if there's no one in the stream, you have to keep talking. Because anybody who comes across the stream, if they pop in and you're not talking, all they're seeing is just random gameplay. Like in this case, they would just randomly see somebody driving a truck. And there's literally nothing to keep them watching. And so they'll click on it and they will immediately leave. So you've got to be talking and you've got to be trying to engage people. And that's really, really weird. It's hard to do. To just talk to yourself. So when people show up, when there are people in chat, it's a lot easier. But it's one of those, like, you got to get the ball rolling things. So you've got to do streams and nobody shows up and you just talk to yourself. Because if you don't do that, there won't ever be streams for people to see and say, oh, you know, I like this streamer. I'm going to check that out. They're going live. I'm going to watch that because I want to. And when they get to the chat, they engage, they talk a little bit, whatever. So you've got to start it. You know, people aren't going to watch you until you're posting content. So you've got to post content that nobody sees. And I don't know, it's hard and you feel kind of silly, but there's no other way to do it. But once it starts to pick up a little bit, once there are people to talk to, and once it, I don't know, gets a little bit of pop to it, you know, a little spark, that it seems to take off from there. And I know metrics, if a video gets, if the views for a video are about, oh, look at this. If a video gets about 10% of your subscriber base as views, that can be considered a good video. So for me, that's about 100. And I think the last 20 or 30 videos that I've posted, almost all of them have been over 100. So, you know, when I look at big time YouTubers that have like 10 million subs, that means a video for them is going to be, these lights are out. Interesting. That means a good video for them is going to have 1 million views. And I see videos that they post that have, you know, 400,000 or 500,000 views. I would love to have 400,000 or 500,000 views, but when you weigh it against the metrics, that video for them, it's not a failure. You know, they still made money from it, but it didn't perform well. It is an underperforming video. And my videos, although they may only have 100 views, as far as the metrics go, that video is successful. So I just want to just keep that going, you know. And I know my like to dislike is, I think, 97%. That's been consistent from the time I started the channel. So I'm really happy about that. And now the numbers that people don't see, when you go to a video, you can see how many times it's been viewed and you can see how many likes and dislikes it has. But when I look at my dashboard, I can see how long people stay, like the average view time. And I can see my total view time for the week, for the month, whatever. And it's amazing to me because it's like thousands and thousands of hours per month people are watching my videos, which is, I mean, it's flattering for one thing. It's a little bit confusing for me because I don't know. I watch my content and I think it could be so much better, but apparently people watch it. Like I said, thousands and thousands of hours per month. And that's a good number. And the other thing is the average view time. And people do spend a lot of time in my videos as far as like watching a video. When they get to a video, they spend some time there. Yeah, there's an AI just stopped. All right, we'll try to go around this gangster. So those apparently are numbers that YouTube, like that will bump you up in the recommendations, that will bump you up in the algorithm. So it is growing. It's growing a lot more slowly than I thought, but it is growing. Yep, that's got nothing to do with Spawn. That's just the AI acting up. Whoa, easy. Everybody just calm down. So yeah, it's been honestly a lot slower than I thought. What is going on with our frame rate? I don't know if you can see that, but we're just like, surging. Like the game is slowing down and speeding up. That's so crazy. We having heat problems? Nope, everything is cool. Numbers are good. I don't know what's happening right now. I've heard, we haven't been in this part of Colorado before, but I've heard that Colorado is a little bit broken. We're going for it. All right, no ticket. Maybe it's just Durango. Just need to get through here. I don't know.
Go straight on.
I mean, my goal is to get to 1,000 subs. We're almost there, and I don't know how long I thought it would take, but I didn't think it would take almost 3 years. I really thought it would be a lot quicker than that. But you know what? It's been good in its own way. It's been very humbling. And I think because you come across people that say, oh, you know, I'm 15, I started a channel, I had 10,000 subs in a month. And we sort of, well, for one thing, it's like we believe that. That's not necessarily even true, but if it is, you know, what kind of content are you posting? If I just wanted 100,000 subs, I could do mashups of bully beatdown videos. You know, nobody's going to go after you for copyright for that. You just download a video of street fights and beatdowns. You edit it together in a different order than the one that you downloaded, and you repost it as your own, and it'll get 500,000 views. People love that stuff. I wouldn't feel good about doing that. I don't know how difficult it would be to monetize that. And it's, I don't know, it's like fish in a barrel, man. There are a lot of things that I know I could be doing that would get me subs, but I would be doing those things just to get subs. And from day one, we have not done that. From day one, we've always just tried to create good content that people are going to like and watch and, I don't know, share, send to their friends. That's it. And if the channel grows slower than it could have, that's fine, because we've done it on our terms. And everything that I've ever posted to the channel, even if it sucks, I've never posted anything I'm ashamed of. You know, I've never posted a bully beatdown video. That's, you know, I don't have any kids, but if I ever did and they found my channel, I wouldn't want them to see that. So we've done it our way, and it's been slow, but it's happening. It is happening. I don't know how much more of this I can take. The game is behaving really erratically. Yeah, I'm not maxed out on GPU or CPU. Temperatures are good everywhere, but our frame rate is just absolute trash right now, and the game is doing kind of a weird, I don't know, it's inconsistent. So we'll see if this eases up when we get up past Montrose. But this may be what people are talking about when they say Colorado is a little bit broken. Yeah, a lot of trees, Fried. A lot of trees right through here. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you an easy way we can check it. Let me wait till we're on a straight piece of road here. Now, I trust that SCS will optimize that, because SCS is, in my opinion, they're a pretty solid company. Let's go here. Yep. Straight up to 60 and super smooth. So I would say it's the trees. Good call. Yeah, from what I read on Steam, which, again, you know, it's just people's opinions. It's by no means definitive. But from what I've read on Steam, Colorado, they really kind of laid on the DX11. And the game has been DX11 for a year now, a little over a year. I would say they're still learning it. And maybe they still have some things to sort out as far as optimizing. You know, not strictly optimizing Colorado, but they need to learn different ways to optimize, and then they need to implement what they've learned. I would think so. SCS is in a really good position now in terms of their relationship with their fan base, and if they're smart, and I think they are. If they're smart, they would not risk that. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not something you want to take lightly. It takes a very long time to build that kind of trust with a large audience, and if it goes away, sometimes you never get it back. So hopefully they'll do what they can. And it could be, and again, this is entirely speculation on my part. I have no inside information, but it could be that this is a risk that they took. You know, how dense can we lay in scenery? And what will that do to people's experience as they play the game? Now, I will also take a look at that anti-aliasing. The anti-aliasing that they've added, that I think they've added or made different. And also, we're maxed out. We're at 400% scaling. In fact, let me take a look right now. We're at 400% scaling, and everything is on Ultra. So yeah, 400. Yeah, anti-aliasing, yeah. And our anisotropic filtering is maxed out. So everything is as high as it can go. The funny thing about a game like this is, you know, I tend to max everything out to make it look as good as possible. But with a game running on Prism 3D, which is 20 years old, it's like you're almost, how do I want to say this? It's like the game can't ever really look that good. So there's no point going to ultra settings, because the difference between ultra and high, you can't even spot it. You know, the game's not that good looking to begin with. And I don't say that like I'm not being an ass when I say that. It's just, you know, it's a fact. You can spare a few FPS and really have no impact on the way the game looks. What is going on with the AI? Why do they keep doing this? They're stopping at these green signals as though there is an invisible stop sign there. Curious. All right, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's just pixels. All right, through there. Now we got, we discovered Durango. Yeah, we had to have. We went right through the center of town. That's Red Mountain. I crossed that pass in, it wasn't quite a snowstorm yet. It was the beginning of a snowstorm on a Triumph Daytona 675. I was riding a sport bike in the snow. It wasn't snowing when I left Grand Junction. Very carefully through here. Yep, these are all sort of famous landmarks in this part of the world. Kind of cuts both ways, because as you're driving in places like this, if you look up on the hills, up on the, well, they're not really mountains here. I guess they sort of are. But if you look up on all those hillsides above you, you'll see mine tailings. And it's just a big triangular slash anywhere from, say, 50 feet to 300 or 400 feet tall. It's kind of a triangle. And they're very often yellow or orange. And you can see the forest is sort of burned around them. And those are mine tailings from the 1800s and 1900s, where, I mean, there were no environmental controls when you were clearing out the contents of a mine to get to the gold or the silver, the copper, whatever it was that you were mining. You would just dump it down the hillside, and if it had chemicals in it, toxins, that sort of thing, oh well. And it's historical now, you know, and it's not really causing any additional environmental damage, but it is both historical, right? We have an opportunity to see how things were done in the past. But also, it's not, I don't know, it's sort of grandfathered in. Because if you go to a place like Colorado, it's been there for, you know, over 100 years. So for me, the first time I went to Colorado, I just saw those things. They've always been part of this. It's not like they're putting up you know, oil derricks or something and changing the landscape. For me, those things have always been part of the landscape. And in that way, they are historical and just part of Colorado. But it's also, I don't know, kind of sad in a way, because we have done a lot of damage. You know, there is a dam in Montana, a small lake with a dam, and nobody knows what to do with it, because in front of that dam and sort of all along the underside of that lake is this clay, this layer of clay and mud, like 20 feet deep, just absolutely caked with unbelievably toxic chemicals from 100 years of mining. And they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to clean it, because if they were to drain the lake and it started to dry out, it would expose all these chemicals, and that would be very bad. But if the dam fails, these chemicals will be released and will poison like hundreds of miles of river. So essentially what they would need to do is like divert the river around that lake, but keep water in it, and then somehow extract hundreds of thousands of tons of this toxic chemical, one scoop at a time, and then take it somewhere. And nobody knows where that place would be. So it's, for now, they're just leaving it as it is. But that's sort of the legacy of all the mining that built these states. You know, so it's, I don't know. I think it's possible to have mixed feelings about it. Because it's bad, for lack of a better word. It is bad. But without it, you know, what would those states look like, and what would the country look like? And I believe this will take us down through Ouray, and I think Ouray is just kind of a static scenery town. I don't think there are any facilities there. But Ouray is where I used to go ice climbing almost every weekend. Yep, I want to say this looks about right. And then we'll get, this road will widen out. We'll head up through Montrose, and then from there, not too very far to Grand, and then we'll head west a little bit, and then north again, and we're done. Right on. So Ouray, here's ice climbing in Ouray. We would head down early Saturday morning or early Sunday morning. We would climb in the Box Canyon all day. It's wintertime, of course, so it gets dark pretty early, and you're down in a little canyon. And then on the way home, if we got out in time and they were still open, we would go to Orvis Hot Springs and sit, they're natural hot springs, and we would sit in the hot pots outside. And if it was snowing, oh, beautiful. You know, ice climbing it's not terribly crazy. It's crazier than not ice climbing, but it's not that bad. I never got hurt ice climbing. I never got hurt climbing at all. Yep, I think this is going to take us right down through, carefully, right down through Ouray. Oh, here it is. Here's Ouray. So if you make the turn, and it's a kind of a distinct horseshoe turn in the road, that is the entrance to both the canyon for climbing and also the Imogene Pass. And the Imogene Pass goes up and over, and then straight down into Telluride. So there's like a straight shot from Ouray right over the mountain down into Telluride. And Yeah, this is it right down here. This has got to be it. This little turnoff down here. I don't know what they have it marked as, but this would be the ice park. Oh, this is crazy. This would be the ice park and the Imogene Pass. Yep, Yankee Boy Basin. Hell yeah. Mount Sneffels. Right up there. There we go. This is a tiny little town. Now, next town down, and again, I think it'll be a static scenery item.
And then continue straight on.
Alright, so this right over here on our, they're calling it the Bergamot, but that is the Beaumont Hotel right there. You know what? I'll tell you in another stream. I can tell you something about the Beaumont, but I'll save that for another stream.
Go straight on.
So we would... Jeez. We would go down this hill, we would go past the hot springs, and then we would go through Ridgeway.
And then continue straight on.
Ridgeway is famous for being the town where they filmed the old True Grit and the new True Grit. And in Ridgeway is the Chipeta Sun Lodge, and I would definitely recommend that place if you're looking for a place to stay in Colorado. In this part of Colorado, stay at the Chipeta Sun Lodge. Very much recommended. And yeah, from there you kind of get back on the highway, and then you're back in Montrose. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's just the density of scenery here, which is weird because we've got Yosemite, right? And that's very similar terrain and a very similar amount of trees, but I feel like we didn't have these problems in Yosemite. Although, in fairness, I haven't been to Yosemite in 1.39. So maybe it's something they've done with DX11, and that we would see these same kind of performance problems anywhere there's trees. This was definitely the long way. I mean, we wanted to cross some cities off our list. And we have done that. Yeah, I think this is going to take us straight into Montrose. I think we're going to sort of skip over Ridgeway. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They do have to compress the map a little bit. And yeah, all right, everything seems to be smooth again, so
go straight on.
I guess it was just that part of the map. Let's slow down to 35 here. We've still got kind of a ways to go. I think we're only about halfway there. Now we will start going a lot faster now that we've cleared this sort of mountainous area. We'll get back on the interstate, hopefully pick up the pace. And what time is it? It's going on 3 p.m. now in-game. Let me look at the map. It's going on 3 p.m. in-game. Do we need to go over here to discover this? You know what? Let's go to the... No, I don't think we need all that. Let's go over here and discover this diesel shop, which is going to be a dealership as well. We'll swap out those lights because I think it may get dark on us before we're done with the episode. So let's do that. Okay.
and then continue straight on.
Yeah, I don't know about this traffic. I mean, in some ways it is
Straight on.
realistic, because I know people do a lot of dumb things around big trucks. But I don't know if it's intentional on the part of the devs, if they're trying to somehow recreate that, or if it's just the AI is at the moment not working properly. Because it seems like they're really aggressive and taking a lot of chances. I don't know.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Let's get some windows down here.
Turn right.
And we can make a right turn on red, can we not? Not now. That mirror, man. That's right in our way. Here we go. So we got a Peterbilt dealer. That works. And how are we doing on fuel? Oh, okay. Glad I looked. We're nearly empty. So we'll do that on the way out of town.
Keep left, and then turn left.
We'll fill up. Okay. And how are we doing on sleep as well? Because we may need to sleep when we get fuel. Alright. So right in there. Down to neutral. Brake. Let's get these swapped out. Do we need to do service while we're here? We can. And we need to go here. And it is these lights right here. Yeah. Not crazy about those. So X these out, and then up here, under the door, under the first step, we want to put now under the second step. I mean, where would we put it? Try to keep them all in a row. 1, 2, oh, put it right in the middle. I'll put it right here. Is going to be the blue step light. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back from the front. So let's do that before we forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue step light. And we'll get rid of these. Yep, I think I like that better. Yeah, but I don't like that they're sort of staggered like that. Is there a way to put them in a straight line? Maybe. Blue step light there, blue step light there. So we'll get rid of this one then, and we need to make this our turn signal. And that is right turn light orange. So that's that one. Okay. And make it the same on the other side. So this is going to be blue light, blue light, blue light. Third one? Yep, it's the third one. Okay. So 3 blue lights there. Get rid of this. And then this will be left turn light. Is that right? Yeah, those are more in a row right there. I like that. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. And, oh, but you know what? Now this light is like clipping through there. So then we would make these. We can't do that because then it's over the text. Do we have a smaller turn light? No. You know what? Let's leave it for now. I don't want to spend too much time on this in video, but let's leave it for now. All right. $12. Take a look outside and be on our way. Turn the lights back on. Go
Time
here.
to hit the road.
Take a look outside. Yeah, those don't look terrible. Let's see how they look when they get turned on at night. Okay, here we go. Windows back down. Brake is off. Here we go. And we'll get fuel on the way out of town. Unless we just sleep right now. Yeah, let's do that. Because I can see fuel and a place to sleep. Let's just do this while we're here. Neutral, parking lights on, set the brake. Beautiful. And we can take a look at our lights. Yeah, that's all right. I think it'll look better when we're not under a light like we are right now. It's sort of bright right here. So, this way. Get some fuel and get out of Montrose. I'll turn off that mini-map as soon as I get a free hand here. There we go. Too late. I was just trying to pull up to the edge of the exit there and take a look. See if we had any traffic, and we definitely did. All right. Now everybody's mad at me. Come on. Windows up. Trucks back here. Okay. We were nearly empty, so I'm curious what our total volume is for fuel. 183 gallons. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not a lot for a big truck. All right, lights on. Brake off. Here we go. Trailer's gonna clear. Trailer's gonna clear. Yeah, go ahead, Fred. What's up?
Go straight on.
beanie fabric. I don't see why not. I think if you went with a coarse enough screen, yeah, like a fleece type fabric, something with an irregular surface. I think if you went with a coarse enough screen, you could, but I don't know what the finish would be like. I think you might have a very soft, fleecy type beanie with a hard plastic printed area on it. I would say a better bet would be to sublimate it. I don't know if you're familiar with sublimation printing, but I would say sublimate it and you'll get a much better result. It'll stay soft and you won't have any plastic on top of it.
Straight on.
So this is grand. I came through here on the freeway the other day. I came down Glenwood Canyon, but this is the first time I've been in, like, I don't know, the city part of the city. And that's the Colorado River. There's some little class 1 and class 2 rapids under there, little ripples. That's where I learned to paddle a kayak. I used to put in at Corn Lake, and my girl would go down to, there's a state park on the other, I don't know, the other side of town, and she'd go post up on the beach with a chair and a beer, and I would paddle from Corn Lake, put the kayak back in the truck, head home. Yep, it's called sublimation printing. It's a process where the printed image it's got multiple stages of chemistry in it. They're all activated by heat, by various degrees of heat. And the first chemical that activates is a chemical bleach that essentially vaporizes the dye that is in the fleece. So now you have almost like a raw garment. And then the second heat activated chemistry is like a vapor deposit ink. So if the first chemistry activates at 100 degrees Celsius, right, that knocks the current color out, and you just have, they're called gray goods, is the name for an undyed garment, but you've got gray goods now, and then the second may be activated at 200 degrees Celsius, and that's when the new ink, the new color that you want to put in, goes in as a vapor, and then when it cools, it sets. And you can use that process for printing on things where you don't want them to have any hand at all when they're done. You don't want them to have any discernible finish. So if you close your eyes and move your hand over the design, you can't feel the difference between the printed and unprinted parts of the garment. And it is, I mean, technically it's a screen printing process, but what you do is you print the design onto paper, and then you line the paper and the goods up, the whatever it is you're going to print on. We printed on panels that were then made into garments later, so everything was flat and easier to work with, but you can do it on a finished garment. But you line up that printed paper with whatever it is you're going to print on, and you sort of press the two together and then apply your heat. And it does everything like a miracle. And then when you pull it out of your press, all the ink and all the chemistry is out of the paper, and there is an image on the fabric, the substrate, whatever it is you want to print on. Are we once again trapped behind some AI? Yeah, a little bit of gridlock in Grand tonight. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have many complaints. I don't even know if we can do this. Are we gonna clear this truck? I don't have many complaints about truck sim. This AI business has me puzzled. Now, if we do hit something here, I'm gonna blame it on the AI. You know, because I'm making some aggressive moves here, but only so we don't sit in traffic. Yeah, these trucks right up here, they're just sitting.
Keep left. Then
I'm
turn
puzzled.
left.
It's a mystery.
Turn left.
There we go. All right, sorted. Yeah, no worries, Fried. It's a cool technology. They use it for like the race suits and the bibs and jerseys that cyclists use, road cyclists, when they're racing. They use it because they can't have, they're putting out such tremendous amounts of energy. They have to keep themselves as cool as possible. And if they were wearing a garment that had any type of a printed image on it, it would be like that part of their garment wouldn't have air moving through it. They use it on like hockey jerseys, things like that. Anything that you want to have just the finish of fabric with no additional plastic on it.
Go straight on.
All right, made it through Grand. This trip's taken as long as, possibly longer than the first leg from Sterling down to Sholo. But we are getting there. Oh, almost got dinged right there. Almost got dinged. Yeah, I like this little truck inside. It's a very utilitarian truck. It's very much a work truck. There's nothing fancy about this rig that we're in right now. And I'm curious why. So we selected blue lights. All of our little work lights on the side there they're all blue, but two of them look blue, one of them looks yellow. I'll take a look. I don't know, man. I don't know. Donut Planet. Oh, I do miss donuts. I can't remember the last time I had a donut. It's been years.
Go straight on.
Here we go. Even without drivetrain revision, I feel like the trucks are accelerating more slowly in a good way. I feel like maybe in previous iterations of the game, the trucks accelerated a little too quickly. Didn't really give you that feeling of weight. Not super healthy, but I mean, I'm not as healthy as some people that I know, but I try to be. Oh God, where do we go here? I think we go this way and then that way. I'm not as healthy as some people that I know, but I try to be as healthy as possible. And can he get by? Yes, he can get by. I try to be as healthy as possible, and it's like even though I don't get it exactly right, I still get pretty close. You know, if that makes sense. It's like I'm aiming for perfect, knowing I'm just going to end up with good, but good is better than nothing at all.
Exit left.
Exit left, okay. And I think I'm not in the exit left lane, but we're going anyway. Yeah, I'm not. Should have been over one lane. All right. So from the minute that we turned off of, yeah, it was like right out of. We gotta jam it in here, kind of aggressively. Right after we left Farmington, we just got on that 2-lane road and took it all the way from just outside of Farmington all the way to Grand. Okay, we're back on the freeway now, so hopefully our troubles are behind us. It is hard. I've been doing it so long, it's habit now, and it still takes effort some days. Like, breakfast is a protein bar, lunch is egg whites and turkey, and dinner will be like a piece of salmon and some vegetables. I've been doing that for seriously years. It's the only food that I keep in the house. You know, it's just a habit. And at the same time, there is that pizza place downstairs. And I wouldn't say that I want to go down there every night, right? Like, that I consider getting pizza for dinner all the time. But it happens often enough, you know, that I do have to kind of remind myself, like, well, you know, when was the last time you did that? And because everybody gets, you know, you got to mix it up a little bit. And so I'd say probably once, maybe twice a month, I'll get a pizza or something, or, you know, eat some food that I know is not really that good for me. I'm going to pull in and get Wade here. But I try to not do it that often. And also sort of consider, well, you know, if this is going to be my one for the month, is this the night that I want to do it on? And is pizza what I want to get? Or, you know, should I maybe wait and save it? Right? Save it for another day. So, but it is a habit, and I have to admit, I have stayed surprisingly healthy, and I haven't had a ton of injuries either, which I feel very fortunate about for some of my hobbies and some of the things that I've done to amuse myself, that I have not been more badly hurt. I've been very lucky. Man, I like all the little blue lights inside this truck. That's why I got the blue lights outside for the steps. Try to match everything up. All right, once again, AI, what are you doing? So the cement truck in front of us, that one I get, right? They have to stop because they're merging, but I don't know why that big truck slowed way down, and now everything is kind of bottlenecked, right? And we need to wait for just a massive gap. Go. Go, go, go. I'm going to stop back here because I may go around this cement truck on the right side. I know it's not ideal. It's not legal or realistic, but needs must, yo. We got a delivery of junked cars we need to get to Idaho. Beautiful. Here we go. We are. We got one city left in Colorado. We've got Lamar down in the south, what would that be? The southeastern part of the state. We got to get that one crossed off our list. But other than that, yep, that's all the cities in Colorado. I'm really pleased with the DLC. There may be some performance problems, but they're not significant. And I've heard enough, there's been enough discussion about them that I'm sure SCS is aware of them and is working to get those sorted out. So no worries. I don't know how well you can hear that hairdryer, but it is. I'm tempted to like turn it down a little bit, but I think it's only in the Mac that it is that loud. So I might just leave the setting where I have it, but it is definitely making a racket. All right, and what time is it? 3:30. Sun will be coming up not too very long from now. we've been able to do most of this in daylight. I'm glad we got through the mountains in daylight. Coming up through Durango, I'm glad we got to see all of that. I'd rather be in Arizona and New Mexico in the dark and Colorado in daylight, just because we haven't seen the whole state yet. Now, I think this volume of traffic is just perfect. This seems very realistic to me, like the density of it. Carefully. And so I'm gonna leave it where it is, because I don't think my spawn rate has anything to do with those AI problems. I think that's the AI itself. So I'm gonna leave my spawn rate where it is, because I like seeing a lot of, I don't know. I mean, they say don't go above 2.0 because that really does kind of break the game. But I like seeing more traffic, and 70, 76, 40, and 80 those roads are always busy. 24 hours a day. I mean, it's the middle of nowhere. You're out in the desert. But they are always busy. And particularly at night with truck traffic. So I think I'll keep that spawn where it is. And this is such an atmospheric game. It's a really simple idea. You just drive a truck. Yeah, there's nothing to it. There's really no way to win the game. I think once you've figured out how not to hit things, it's not even a question of like being. Whoa! What was I saying about hitting things? It's not even a question of like being good at it. It's you don't continue to get better at it. It's like there's a basic level of ability you have to get to, competency. Just don't hit things and don't get tickets, and then from there there's really nothing else to learn, and you just drive a truck. So it's a really simple concept, and it's kind of goofy in some ways because you don't do anything, you just drive a truck, but there's something about it that is so hypnotic, you know, and so engaging. I think how many bus simulators people have tried to make, both city buses and intercity buses, and really none of them, I don't think any of them have captured this type of loyalty or positivity from fans. I know OMSI and OMSI 2 are very popular. I wasn't able to get into OMSI 2. I tried several times. I'm not German. I think that might have something to do with it. I'm not being an ass when I say that. I think it's just the way the developers communicate and the way the game is built. I think it might be something that resonates differently with a German player. But I tried OMSI 2. I tried Fernbus. I tried Bus Simulator 18. I tried Lotus. There are persistent rumors that in every patch in ATS, they're adding bus stations to cities. And some people are saying, like, those are just static items. Right? They're just scenery items made to make cities look more accurate or more realistic or something. But there are other people who say that they are sort of laying the groundwork to bring in buses, and that you would do more or less exactly the same thing. I mean, there are bus mods now. You would do more or less exactly the same thing. You would drive your bus to a bus depot, and there'd only be one in every city. There wouldn't be multiple, you know, like we have now. There's a dozen businesses in a big city, a dozen different depots or yards. There would only be one bus station, but you would essentially pick a route. Go to the bus station, you'd load up your passengers, and you would drive. If you were an express, you would drive straight to that other city. If there was local service, you would stop at various smaller cities on the way. And I mean, the mechanics are all there, right? Like, everything is there as far as the code, picking up, dropping off, schedules, timing, everything else. Yeah, all they would need to do is get the license and bring in the buses. And since they have MAN already, MAN makes buses, Iveco makes buses, Mercedes makes buses, I think Scania may make buses. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But they've already got relationships with multiple companies that build buses, right? So it would not surprise me. And it's one of those things that, you know, our view from right here would be very similar. Right? What we were seeing at this moment would not be terribly different if we were driving a bus. It's just what we saw when we looked behind us. So, yeah, I would love to see that brought in. And it is, I can't say that it's surprising, not surprising, but when I think about all the other companies that have tried to make a truck simulator, and all the companies that have made a bus simulator, OMSI 2 that's a pretty popular game, I will say. But all the other bus simulators are just kind of, you know, in the same way that you've got the Farm Sim franchise. Now Cattle and Crops, I don't know what kind of inroads Cattle and Crops is going to make into the Farm Sim franchise fan base. I don't know. They may take a big bite out of them, they may not. But you think of all the other farm sims that have come and gone over the years, and it's just really, you know, it's Farm Sim has, even with disappointments, complaints, I've certainly been disappointed with them at various times, but even with those disappointments, they're not telling us to. Oh, okay. I thought that was a way station right there. It's an exit. I have been disappointed by Farm Sim, but I have been a lot more disappointed by other farm sims that are trying to compete with them. And that's amazing to me because the model is right there. Just do what Farm Sim is doing, and it's not like they have a patent on that any more than any developer of a race sim has a patent on the idea of a race sim. Anybody can make a race sim. It's just a question of licensing the cars and licensing the tracks and getting everything scanned. But all those bus simulators have not been able to capture the magic of Truck Sim. So if Truck Sim made a bus simulator, I have to think it would be amazing. Yeah, I agree, Fried. I think they would be, because they've already got the formula. You know, they've already got the scenery, they've already got the weather, physics. It really would just be a question of installing the bus depots in cities and then licensing and building the buses from from manufacturers, getting everything licensed from the companies that make the buses. I would love that. I tried, so on the RJL Scania, there is a rigid mod for that. And I believe you can use it for other trucks now too. I think you could use it for the Pendragon Volvo for a while. Well, the Oaxaca Volvo, which became the Pendragon Volvo, but yeah. You could use that rigid mod for others, and then if you hooked it up with the Ikari trailers, Ikari has dolly trailers, and you could haul like a short rigid truck with a short dolly trailer, or a big dolly trailer if you wanted. I tried that for a while, but as I moved away from mods, you know, tried to run fewer and fewer mods, I stopped running the RJL Scania. But I think any variety, you know, anything that we can do to, I wouldn't say give the game novelty, because I feel like Truck Sim, on both sides, on ATS and ETS, it does have enough of, I don't know, just something. It just works. Is there a train? Yep. It doesn't really need novelty. But at the same time, you know, I'd look forward to new DLC. I look forward to new trucks. So I certainly don't mind when there's something new in the game. And if they brought buses in, I think that would be, you know, when you sit down for a sesh, you can decide, do I want to drive a truck today? Do I want to drive a bus? What do I want to do? And I'm going to go down to neutral, set the brake, and I'm going to pause out of this for a second and have some water, because I'm getting awfully dry. And I just saw out of the corner of my eye there, it did say 0 for time remains. So I think we are late. How far do we have to go? Oh, not too far at all. Salt Lake right there. What? I thought we were going to Idaho. Why did I think we were going to Idaho? All right, so we're going right up the road here. We are going to be late. Hopefully we'll still make some money. Brakes on, get it in gear here. Hopefully we still make some money, but I don't think we're going to make a whole lot. And then I will have to call it there because, yeah, we've been going a little over 3 hours. And that is... it's hard to time it, you know. I don't want to... I never want to cut things off in the middle of a task. But it's hard to know when... It's hard to know what task should be your last one. But I think 3 hours is about the limit of what my voice can take. And when I'm done here, what am I going to do? I might, oddly enough, I might go to the gym and then come back here and make myself a gin and tonic and see if I can find some stuff to buy on Steam. I've been looking, and it's like I'm out of things but there's nothing on Steam that I want that I don't already have. I don't want to buy things just to buy them, you know, but it's a Black Friday sale. I feel like I ought to buy something. Yeah, I agree. I think it's too punishing when you're late. I think it's not punishing enough with tickets. I think the price of your tickets should be based on how much money you have. Because if you've got, like, we're sitting on $3 million right now, a $300 ticket for running a red light, I seriously don't even notice it. You know, my drivers make 10 times that every hour. So I really don't even notice. I'd like to see the tickets adjusted so they ding you based on your total, like, total bank balance. Or I would like to see tickets. Every time you get a ticket, it takes away a point, right? So we're level 27 right now. No, we're level 42 in ATS. We're 27 in ETS. If we got a ticket right now, we'd be level 41. And we would keep all of our skill points, like being able to haul long cargoes and all our hazmat. We would keep our skill points, but if we kept getting tickets, eventually we would start losing our skill points. Because that's sort of what would happen in real life, right? If you've got a CDL and you get tickets, you can lose your CDL. So I think that would be good to implement, but it would have to be selective. You know, it would have to be something that people could turn off, because not everybody's going to want that. Yeah, I agree. I think it should be incremental. And, I mean, if anything, if they wanted to be realistic, I would say that, like, if you're late for a job, if you're late dropping off a job, for the next 3 game days, the dispatch is cut in half. Right? Less people want you to haul their cargo because you're unreliable. So for the next 72 hours in-game, the amount of jobs that you can pick from is cut in half. Things like that. And I think it would be easy enough to code that. I mean, I say that. I really do think it would be easy enough to code that, but I don't know that it would be easy. But I think things like that would be, it would have to be optional. It would have to be something you can turn on or off.
Keep left.
But yeah, I think there are a lot of ways they could make... I'm going to be careful here because I don't know exactly where I'm going. I think there are a lot of ways they could make things more realistic without making them sort of, I don't know,
Get ready to turn right.
hateful. You know, I don't like the idea that
Turn right.
that a game is get stopped here. It's like it's like playing games when you're a kid. It's like playing board games when you're a kid. Of course you want to win, and nobody likes losing. But losing shouldn't be so frustrating or so embarrassing that, you know what I mean, that you have to make an effort to not be pissed off. It's got to be, you know, it's all got to be kind of lighthearted. It's all got to feel like a game. so that being late would be a serious enough event, right? That you would notice it, but not that you would feel like, well, like you were saying, you make no money. You just spent a couple of days in-game and several hours in real time, right? Like several real hours of your life delivering a cargo, and when you get there, you get no money. That's a bit, that's a bit much. I agree with you. That's needs a little balancing. And I don't know how late we're going to be. I think we saw the notice for customer expects delivery very soon. I want to say we saw that down around Montrose. So we might not get any money for this job at all. And so far, we haven't got any tickets. And the only thing is we got that crashed vehicle violation, but I don't understand how we got that. We did apply the brakes, but we were in the center of our lane. There was no traffic merging coming in from the right. I don't know. I'll take a look on the replay. Something happened. I just don't know what it was. But other than that, we haven't got any tickets. We haven't taken any damage. And after all this, to make zero money. Oh, game. And yeah, now we're like trapped in the suburbs. Where are we? There we go. There's our target up above. Yep, there's more AI. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's an actual broke down bus. I thought that was AI kind of bottlenecked. Alright, so we'll get back to... We're going back in there somewhere. I think we might be going right there.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
I do like the way this truck sounds. I hear a train somewhere. Oh, there it is. Another Amtrak. Beautiful. I'm gonna try to get through this green light. These are so short. Alright, made it.
Get ready to turn
Right.
left.
So we're going in here.
Turn left.
And yeah, we haven't been to this yard yet. Okay, so this will illuminate when we cross into it. Yeah, we have not been here. We've had this profile for quite a while now. I think since 1.37. Yeah, probably right about 1.37. It's amazing there's still this many parts of the map that we have not been to. Go carefully through here, and I'm guessing we do want to go across the scale. All right, so I'm gonna say we just got weighed, and is it through there? Maybe. I don't want to go third person quite yet. Is it... It's not. Where is it? I can see it through there. Is it? Ah, it's over that way. Okay. carefully. Oh, man. I don't want to hit something this deep into the episode. 3 hours in. I don't want to hit something. We've got quite a jackknife going on, but you know what? Sometimes that happens. All right, we got it. Oh, that's a nice animation. Now here we're nice and smooth. We've got no FPS problems whatsoever with all this clutter with the animation going on. Interesting. Interesting. They'll get Colorado sorted out. I have no doubt. All right, through here. Could we have come through this other way? Come down from that side? Maybe. Maybe. And we got to back in. Okay. I don't know if we could have come through there. I think we could have, but we would have had to... Yeah, we would have had to make a left as soon as we came through the entrance and skip going across that scale. Okay. Alright, so we'll get this back in, and then I've got to call it. But I've really enjoyed the stream today. Glad y'all were able to make it. And we'll do some FS19 tomorrow, and then probably X-Plane on Monday. Do this just right. We gotta do like the double jackknife. All right. So there's neutral. Set the brake. Windows down. Engine is off. Let's see how we did. Oh, man. I hope we make some money. We are late. 16, 26, 30. I mean, yeah. That's all right. So we would have made about 30 grand. Instead, we made 12. Yeah, we're sitting on 3 million. We're doing all right. All right, that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll do some FS19. We're in Purbeck Valley. X-Plane on Monday. I might take a day off one of these days too. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate you. You're a great audience. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.